In this lesson, we'll analyze another very interesting position, and again using our knowledge of the very important concept of opposition, of which we already analyzed a few examples. We'll see how black can actually save this position, which looks like lost because of the one pawn advantage that white has. So before we directly go into the solution, it is always good to analyze the position by moving the pieces around a bit to actually understand what is the thing that is happening in the position, what are the problems that black is facing, what are the incorrect ways of defense, and then only we'll be able to appreciate the correct solution. So this position is a black to play. Let us say black plays some natural moves, let us say starting with king c6, and which allows a very strong entry of the white king on the very powerful e5 square. King goes here, and I can simply win the game by putting black in a zugzwang. So king has to move, and I win the pawn, and I promote the remaining pawn. So this natural response is not working. Let us analyze the other options that black has. Let us say king goes to e7. Here again allows a very strong entry of the white king to the e5 square. King goes here, and again I can do the same thing. Push the pawn and put the opponent in a zugzwang, forcing him to move away from his only pawn, capture the pawn, and then promote my own pawn. Okay. So king goes out and we promote. Okay, so this is also not working. Let us see the third option, maybe king d7. Here, a very direct play of king e5 doesn't work because black is in time to get the position. So let us say we continue with the logical move of f5. Black takes, and whichever way white takes, the position will be a draw, because if king takes, black maintains a position, and if pawn takes, again we have this unique position where white king cannot get in front of the pawn, and we know that is an draw. So let us say king here, pawn push, I stay back and oppose the king, and the position becomes a draw. Okay, so but after king d7, we have this outflanking maneuver of king c5. Now if king goes to c7, I can make this very important move e5, forcing black to go away, and now I can push the king away using a maneuver which is known as outflanking. So king goes here, I follow it. Finally the king is running out of moves and has to go away from the pawn. So again the position is losing for black, right? So we saw that how if we make the natural moves, the position has a lot of dangers for black and needs to be dealt with care. But in this case, we have very unique method of immediately drawing the game, which is by sacrificing the pawn on e5. So we reduce the quality of the white pawn structure, we double the pawns, and when we keep the king in front of the pawn, white has nothing better than going away, and we immediately get a standard drawn position because black is sitting in front of the pawn. And just to demonstrate it again, the technique, so we'll just make a few moves to see how the logical conclusion of the game is. So king e5, and white plays here. Always remember to stay in front of the pawn, go straight back, and only when the king comes front, you oppose the king. Don't worry about the pawn, oppose the king, and you'll be fine. King moves up, I stay right in front of the pawn, and always follow the same procedure, no matter which side the white king comes out from. And this is a well-known draw, as we have already seen multiple times. So again, we saw that using that knowledge of opposition, which is one of the most important concept in pawn endings. We were able to save a game which was looking like lost. Okay, I'll see you in the next lesson.